own show. She just gonna call us out.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of The Extra Point, a Memorial Day weekend edition, a 3-day weekend edition for those who have that off-field culture in the house. The First Lady of Sports, Tasha Sharon Stone Sizzle, is in the house.
I'll tell y'all about the Sharon Stone later.
Oh, you're gonna tell us about the Sharon Stone later, y'all. This was we gotta get later on in the show because meta little world peace might get us, y'all. But it's been a great start to the morning for your boy. I will leave it at that. Tasha, it's been a wild week in the city of New York. It started last Friday night. The streets was buzzing with people everywhere, hundreds of thousands of people. They parading through the city like the Knicks just completed the first undefeated season in NBA history. They were chasing a Pacers fan through the streets, hitting them in the head with garbage and trash and all kinds of stuff.
They ganged up on poor Wendy.
They gave Wendy the business. Stephen A. Smith was trolling to his heart's content on social media. Tasha, we fast forward to this morning. There's no parades. There's no throwing trash. You have a Knicks team that just completed the most epic collapse in the history of the NBA playoffs on Wednesday. Chokesign.com Part 2. And last night, the defense just didn't show up. And they have another soul-crushing loss against the Indiana Pacers. Tasha, let's lead off with this question. What is the bigger story this morning? That the Knicks are down 0-2 or the Pacers are up 2-0?
I think that the Pacers are up 2-0 because as I was watching last night, they were saying, oh, Knicks fans or whatever, don't be scared because the Knicks have a better road record.
Okay.
So maybe they're just okay, or it's maybe, okay, yeah, we kind of figured Indiana could possibly be up 2-0 at this point, given the fact that the Knicks have been playing better on the road during this playoff season.
And defense does travel, although for some reason they haven't had it in the Garden when they needed critical stops. Tasha, I tend to agree with you that the biggest story is Indiana. Like last week, you made a point that I'm gonna die on this hill, and hopefully it doesn't bear out this way. That without Boston and LA finals, with the NBA searching for a resurgence, searching for fans to get back involved, you needed the Knicks in the finals against whoever came out of the West, just from a marketability standpoint, from a fan interest standpoint, from a NBA legacy fan standpoint, which a lot of us that are in our generation are. But the Pacers, Tasha, they're 10-2 in the playoffs and 7-0 in clutch games. And ladies and gentlemen, a clutch game is a game that's within 5 points with 5 minutes or less to go in the game. Tasha, they don't make mistakes in the crucial moments. You saw them do it against Giannis, got them out the paint in 5, got the Cavs out the paint in 5. Now they're up 2-0 on the Knicks. You used a term that I would like for you to follow up on last week. The Knicks be what? What are the Knicks be doing, Tasha?
Nicking.
Good morning, Jody. He says Knicks chip was beating the Celtics. That's what I was saying in the opening.
And
you
then
saw how they was running around parading. Go ahead, Tasha.
I said how the lovely, beautiful, gorgeous Nia Long was trolling the Celtics because she put a photo of Spike Lee when he was celebrating. I forget what she wrote in the caption, but it was basically trolling the seas. I said, yeah, that's because that leprechaun slept with her baby daddy. And so she was trolling the sea. I'm sorry.
You did that. You did that. Tyrese Halliburton, multiple choice, and give me the one that most applies. Good player, great player, superstar, face of the franchise. Where does he fall with you after these playoffs so far?
I mean, I think he's a good player. I know everybody was saying something about him being the most overrated or whatever. Yeah. First of all, I don't even watch the Pacers. Since Reggie Miller and all them boys got up out of there, I ain't watched the Pacers, and I'm not gonna lie. They're in Indianapolis. It's called Naptown for a reason. But Sasha, my daughter and I actually had this conversation. I was like, well, we need the Knicks to win, like we said, because you want the viewership in the finals. Yeah. I said, because the Pacers don't play exciting ball. And she says, well, obviously they're winning. I said, but winning does not equate to views and excitability. They can sweep the Knicks. Right. That's not going to mean that they're going to be interesting to watch. The Knicks would move the needle.
Right. I agree 1,000% there. Tyrese Halliburton, I don't really know where to slot him. He's having a great playoff, but
Pascal Siakam had 39 points. He was the superstar last night
on 23 shots. Talking about efficiency and going back to, and I think Jody referenced this about him on Against the Grain the last time I caught the show, saying Karl Anthony Towns is soft. He was being hunted.
No, but when I say that, you get mad at me.
Tasha, I have never see. There's always the when I say it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, y'all parents out there, you know when your kid come home and say, "Well, everybody was throwing rocks." I ain't everybody's daddy, right? So damn it, I'm gonna get on you. I did not disagree with you calling him a kitten. I'm saying that he only played 28 minutes last night because he was getting hunted on defense. You usually don't see a big get hunted on defense. He gave up 50% shooting percentage on the people that was guarding him.
Also a big that thinks he's a guard. I mean, and now I did hear a backstory about like how when he was growing up, how his father wanted him to hone on his skills on actually moving the ball and being a shooter. So that's probably why he plays like he does. Instead of going to somebody's big man camp, he should have been down there with Elijah Wan learning that dream shape.
Everybody loves
especially down here. These, because you know his mother was Dominican. They love Karl Anthony Towns down here.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I tell you the sequence of events that just happened just now? If y'all didn't catch it, Jody pops up in the comments and says everybody loves soft cat, and Tasha says especially down here. That was scolding.
I just caught that.
No, scolding. Go ahead, Tasha. Go ahead.
I should have proofread that before I went into my.
Go ahead. Good morning, Sarah Fawcett.
And then you got Jody coming in here with filth.
Jody be on demon time early in the morning. Like, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Farrah. So wait a minute. Let's stay there for a second. Cat is beloved in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Tis.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know. But no, seriously, they what's the guy that plays for the Celtics? The other Dominican. They don't really
keep going, Tasha. Keep going. Keep going. Jody.
With the endless stream of vanilla milk, Jody. But no, because Karl Anthony Towns actually does do more and come down here and do things for the Dominican people.
Yeah.
What is his name that plays for the Celtics? Oh my God, I can't even think his name.
Jaylen Brown?
No, but the other Dominican. But they don't really. A lot of them say they don't really like him because it's like he got his money and he turned his back on the Dominican. He married the Miss Dominican, the one who's Miss Universe, who's Dominican.
What?
No, what is his name? The old guy.
Oh, Al Horford.
Yeah, they don't really. I mean, they support him because it's Al Horford. He's Dominican, but they love Cat more than they love Al.
We're gonna keep moving because Jody's just teed up for that one. Good morning, AP Culture. Now, Tasha, let's move over to the Western Conference Finals because the OKC Thunder are looking to put a stranglehold on this series to go up 3-0 as the series shifts to Minnesota tonight on ESPN and ABC. Tasha, let me ask you this. Who has a better chance of actually getting out of the hole and winning their series, the Timberwolves or the Knicks?
I would say the Timberwolves, but y'all know I always come with the salacious juice and gossip.
Let's go.
Your boy, slow to pull out, AE is now saying that his baby mama is allegedly stalking the team and stalking players, and it is a distraction.
That's why they're losing?
To him. That's now allegedly. That is what he is saying, which of course she categorically denies that that's even happening. But my thing is, don't come up with these excuses now, because when you was out here talking bad about it, it wasn't distracting you.
Shooting up the club.
When you were shooting up the club blood free.
Now Jody says neither. I think it's going to be a tall climb for both. But y'all, OKC, and yes, I'm a Grizzlies fan, so with full disclosure, I'm not hating when I say this, but OKC played with their food with Memphis. Memphis should have won Game 3 and Game 4 without Ja Morant. They let Denver hang around without their head coach for 7 games. Really, they were down, double digits early in that Game 7 last Sunday. I think that Minnesota, because of Anthony Edwards and because of how well they played at home in the playoffs, I think they have a better chance. Knicks, I'm sorry, Damian Lamar Coulter. They called him the Halaban. The Halaban.
Man, wow, that's the Halaban. 9 in my right, 25 in my other hand.
AP Coulter, being the consummate supporter of her children that she is, she says the Knicks have a better chance. Now, the Knicks, to Tasha's earlier point, they do play better on the road for some reason. They went into Boston and snatched 2 in the Garden. So, like we shall see. I think that OKC, though, they're like,
I mean,
they are boring to watch, Tasha. I really don't enjoy their brand of basketball.
It really depends on if they're still going to be giving Shea the benefit of the doubt when it comes to some of those flops he's doing.
That's what I don't like about OKC.
You got you got purple power up in Minnesota. Something about the aura of Prince could be in that building, and Minnesota could do a little something. They both look bad. The Knicks and Minnesota both look bad, to Jody's point.
Right.
And I know Ant had tweaked his ankle or did
that's something. Every game.
Right. But again, it's no excuses, because hurt or not, you still going out there playing.
Right.
Ja ankle was hanging off the bone like Dax. He went and got a couple of injections, and he played the game. He was good. Great
point. And he went and dropped 30 too in that elimination playing game. Great point. Tasha, let's transition to some news that broke last night, and I'm dying to get your thoughts on this. And this is off the script, so just flow with me right here, Tasha. Just flow. Like Martin told Gina when he was in court defending himself for that ticket, he said, "Just roll, just flow, and shut it up."
Oh, they found the dope and the bitches with Jim Irsay when he died. That's the breaking news.
See, first of all, we're not going to disrespect the dead today. You've been on Jim Irsay's neck for years. It's time for you to let the man rest. All right. Now,
I hope they dusted the residue up off that main nose.
If the man goes down in a hail of snow, then what other way is there to go for a rich man? Jarrell Chicken. Wait a minute, Jarrell. You looking like a crime boss there. Are you eating the rigatoni?
Shout out to Jarrell and his lovely bride. They celebrated an anniversary. I forgot the year, but yeah, shouts out to Black Love.
Shouts out Jarrell. He says, I guess the Pacers going to have Mike Epps courtside to match the Knicks stars. Yeah. But,
it is funny, because if you look at the West tournament, ain't no stars on the sideline.
Right. Except for Carlisle, who's turning into one of the greatest coaches in NBA history.
I know. I said stars.
About to come true.
You ain't got the Hollywood elites. You ain't got the New York Breds sitting on that sideline.
All you need is Caitlin to come down there with that dress you got on today. And okay, so David Stern's worst nightmare is about to come true. Pacers versus Thunder, mid-majors NBA teams in the finals. Y'all, I'm the biggest NBA supporter. I ain't watching that.
I ain't either.
I ain't watching that.
I'm not. That's like in the NCAA tournament. We like the Cinderella story, but we don't want to watch the whole game. I mean, both the championship game and it's 2 mid-majors.
Right. Win one game and get up out of here. Once we get down to the Elite 8, I want to see the big boys play. And this is about to come true. And this is now that is Adam Silver. See, you Jordan fans out there. See, this is Adam Silver, Jody. And Adam Silver just announced the
Commissioner Dungy.
Right. He announced the All NBA teams yesterday, Tasha, and I got a question that only you can help me talk through. Because, all right, just give me a second to set this up. All right. So first off, All NBA was announced last night. First team, SGA, of course, Giannis, Jokic. All right. Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, first team. Second team, Steph, LeBron, Jalen Brunson, Evan Mobley, Defensive Player of the Year, and Ant-Man. 2. All right. Third team, James Harden, Tyrese Halliburton, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Williams of OKC, and Cade Cunningham. Shouts out to the Pistons with an all-NBA player. Now, Tasha, this led to LeBron James last night posting a tweet that said, now I'm paraphrasing, but this is pretty accurate. He says, all NBA at 40, exclamation point. Sitting here watching the playoffs and thinking about it. Was blessed with a crown emoji, praying hand emoji. Tasha, when you looked on those comments, you would have thought LeBron James told every man in America to go home and beat on their wives, girlfriends, and children all weekend, to choke them, to rig the mailbox, and you know what I'm saying.
Pull a ditty on the Kid Cudi and cut the roof out their cars. And
right. The Monotel cocktail. Oh, we're gonna get into that as the weeks wane and the sports start to dwindle, because that, like, why are you rubbing another? Paul, we can't get out of that if we get into that. So, Tasha, that led me to a question, because you know that anything LeBron tweets is going to get reposted, retweeted, and the comments were universal. I'm checking them this morning. I'm just looking through, just trying to check the pulse of the people, and it was so much vitriol for such an innocent post, which leads me to this question, Tasha. Who is the most hated athlete in America today, LeBron James or Angel Reese?
It depends on which demographic you're asking.
I'm asking you. That you're the first lady of sports to cover all demographics. Who's the more hated today?
I'm going to say right now is Angel Reese, because LeBron James talking about Caitlin Clark is his favorite WNBA player. So you got to go with Angel right now. Again, those demographics alone tells you that she's hated.
Yeah, and I got a story about that in just a second. Now,
what was Trey DeBarge's numbers this season, Jody?
Yeah, drop his numbers in there, because I think I got Halliburton over Trae Young for 13. Now, Melanie says, hey, can you repeat first team again? Of course I can, for you, beautiful. It's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic, who were the 3 MVP finalists. That makes sense. Donovan Mitchell, the star shooting guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Jason Tatum, lightskin.com.
Three foreign-born players.
3, and we're going to get into that too, Tasha, because I have a question about that. But Tasha, you say it's Angel Reese is the most hated. Now, Farrah says LeBron. I think now Jarrell says, why does LeBron even have his comments on? For me, for content.
Jarrell, you know why? Because he likes the banter, and he likes the engagement.
I don't think he liked this engagement. And this is okay. So real quick, because Tasha asked, and we're gonna come back to you, Jarrell. 24.2, 11 assists, led the league in assists.
But you know, for whatever reason, they don't like Trey DeBarge. Now, when he was up in New York and he was doing this right here, after he eliminated them a couple of years ago, everybody was on the Trey DeBarge bandwagon. Mm-hmm. But for whatever reason, everybody done fell off.
There have been rumors about him being a bad teammate in Atlanta. I don't think they're going to move him, because he is box office, but they're playing all-stars. Like, you got to get out of the play. Well, they did have the one run when they made the Eastern Conference Finals. But, Jody, I'm going to take Halliburton. Well, okay. In full disclosure, I don't know. I didn't follow Halliburton, because to Tasha's point, I didn't watch the Pacers like that, or the Hawks either. But just looking at Halliburton, I have to have him 13 right now. Now, back to Jarrell's point.
Twitter's down. I can't read nothing. Twitter's down.
Oh, snap. I had a really close friend of mine reach out to me this week and asked me this question, Tasha. Said, hey, just quick question. I'm just wondering, why is Angel Reese so angry and such a bully? That was the question. And I said, well, so where did you get that narrative? Like what prompted you to ask me that specific question? And their response was, just seeing it on social media. So he's out seeing it on social media. And they weren't they were asking to really ask, because I'm the sports guy. So they were like what's going on with that? So I tried to give a brief timeline of LSU championship game. You can't see me. the people here to watch me too. And something that Jemele Hill had said earlier this week. I don't know if she was on her own show or on another show. Tati, you jump in if you caught that.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she was basically like she was within her right to feel that way because it's not like she's slaw too. You know, she's slaw. Yeah. But it's like everything that she's having to deal with, and like how they were saying when one of the reasons why she left LSU early when she was crying is because of the criticism she was getting. Right. And at that time, I didn't think that criticism was warranted because if she did, you can't see me, like they said. Caitlin Clark was doing it too.
Yeah, it was a response to her doing it to South Carolina and the other teams. It was
a response. Yeah. Now, had this been the Bulls and the Pistons, and you had Bill Laimbeer or the Pistons and the Simmons when Larry Bird choked shit out of Bill Laimbeer.
Right. He was with it. Larry was with it, and we talked about it.
Larry was with it, man. Like
Larry was with it.
I think if it was men going at it like this, it wouldn't be as nitpicky.
So you think it's gender bias as well?
It's gender and it's race bias. And if Angel Reese was white, if it was Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark, it wouldn't be a big thing either.
There's no way to avoid that, and I think to bury your head in the sand would just be because you chose to bury your head in the sand. That's not an issue at play. Jemele Hill was basically saying, and I never looked at it this way, and I explained this to my friend that. Can you imagine being Angel Reese that when you're looking at Caitlin Clark, they're forever tied by the moment that went viral. That when Caitlin Clark is being like questioned or what's the word interviewed, that she's been interviewed about her game, her team, and what she's got going on.
But Angel is being interviewed about Caitlin Clark.
And for someone, and the thing is, regardless of what you think about her personally. This is someone as a human being saying, I was the number one rated out of my high school class. It wasn't Caitlin. She was like 4. No, it was Paige. And then it was but she was ahead of her. She beat her in college, won a championship. She was first team all rookie, was in the All-Star meeting, led the league in rebounds. She's the youngest player to ever have 450 points and 450 rebounds. But another thing, ask her about Caitlin.
Is what I didn't know and what I didn't realize, because to us, Big Ten is only us and everybody else.
Right.
Iowa and Maryland are both in the Big Ten. They've played each other before.
Yes. I think they're 5-5 all time against each other, with Caitlin getting the better of her in the WNBA, of course, with last week's game. And while we're talking about that, what were your thoughts on how that all played out? Like the foul and Angel's reaction, and then the fallout on social media.
It was a foul. It was, but I think Angel doing the SGA antics, the flopping with it, made it more than what it should have been into, because she kind of literally like blew up. And you sent me something, and I mean, I'm not a lip reader, where it was like Caitlin Clark had said something. We don't know if that was in reference to Angel, but she was like, I want to hit her in her effing face or something like that. Again, we don't know if that was directed towards Angel or just in general. But I mean, it's a foul. It's a foul. You can flop. Yeah, you should have just flopped. But I think she kind of overreacted, which added to it. But she has the right to react any way she wants to react.
Okay.
But what you also saw was your girl Leah Boston coming up too. They down for Caitlin Clark. They not gonna be letting nobody punk that girl.
Right, as they should. But if you look at when I saw it in real time, I don't think that Angel knew who pushed her at first. She got hit from behind, fouled from behind. When she got up and saw it was Caitlin, I think then it was like, oh, okay, so yeah, you trying to, where in a strictly basketball reference, if you just remove all of the narratives around the two, she pushed Boston under the rim to get the rebound. And her teammate came to her defense like, no, she's not a great free throw shooter. I'm going to give her a hard foul. But she did give her a little extra to like get on the ground hole. And Angel reacted, get out or lay down. And then Angel, now, if that would have been Aaliyah Boston to push her like that, would Angel have reacted the same way? That's the balance there, because probably not. Maybe not, because Aaliyah Boston looks like she'll body slam your ass. But
she got some girth to her.
I like Jody, y'all stay out of the comments on that one. I like the fact that Caitlin Clark is being a little more assertive. Like she had another dust up in her game against the Dream the other day, where she was like, "I ain't scared of you. Like we can throw them things."
She
I love that.
she literally said, "I ain't scared of you."
Right. She did her Bernie Mac. I love that about the game. I love that about her. I want her to keep that energy. I want her to bring it to these girls in the league and let her know that she belongs there because she is a great player. Now, as far as Angel Reese, now I'm going to bring up to what Jarrell said here because this took on a bigger life than the actual foul itself. RG3 tap dancing don't help the situation, add more fuel to the fake narrative that black women are angry. To that, you say what, Tasha?
And we have a lot of conversations off wax about the narrative that black women are always angry or black women don't do this, black women don't do that. And I'm not going to just go into it right now, but you know how I feel about that. RG3 was the last MFer that needed to be bumping his gums about some black women. And I don't know, I may be going too deep right now. I don't appreciate the fact that your first wife was a lot lizard. Okay, let's just go there. Who had been, and it's known she had been around, but you were so corny, so goofy, not even the average good white girl wanted you. Forget the sisters. The average good white girl didn't want you. So you go with the first woman who, again, had been around.
A lot of women have been around, Tasha, but keep going.
Yeah, it's noted. You can Google some things and find out. So you go with the first woman who gives you some attention, whether she was black or white. So then you divorce her, you upgrade, you get your new wife who's European white. She's from Estonia. And then for you to go out here and say all this stuff, like they said, you never say anything positive about black women. Didn't a black woman birth you? And if I'm not mistaken, doesn't he have a sister? Like, that's what I don't understand when you have people like him making those takes like that. And you made it seem like it was an angry black woman, which, again, to Jamel Hill's part, so I do understand why she feels that way. Because every time you asking her something, it's about Caitlin Clark. Are y'all not paying attention to my game? And before Farrah jumps in, I know Farrah down there in Houston, what it do? She was like, had a rebound, then missed the shot. Like she was like 0 for whatever a couple of games ago. And I was like, damn, she ain't really helping the case here. But she's within every right to feel disrespected. And maybe she is acting out in a certain way. But people like RG3, they need to keep their fucking mouth closed. Dude, because this ain't even your battle. I know you doing it for likes and take, then you won't hear now promoting your wife's butt bands. Ninja, what?
It's a lot to unpack there with what you said. Good morning, Sheila Hastings. Good morning, Mama Hastings. Now, Jody says Angel Reese leads the league in rebounds, and she was a beast leading the league in rebounds last year.
Yeah.
I will say this. RG3, I didn't have a problem with RG3 giving his take. I mean, yeah, I think it was clickbait. Yeah, I think it was for engagement. I think for you to specifically say this isn't basketball, this is hate, capital HATE, as if you've like spent time around Angel Reese and like I think that was
time around black women in general, other than your mother.
I don't know that part.
I'm saying it.
I hear you, but I'm gonna stay neutral on that part because I really don't care what woman you date. I mean, as long as you ain't putting hands on and choking and peeing on her. Oh, I'm sorry, that trial got me in a chokehold. Long as you ain't doing all of that, then I'm good with that. Now we know he don't think LeBron is more hated than Angel Reese, Michael Harris. He think all the smoke that come to LeBron is warranted. Michael Harris, like your ears was ringing when we decided to broach this subject. Good morning to you, Mr. Harris. Hope your wife is doing well today. Tasha, I have more of a problem with your boy Ryan Clark jumping in than I did with RG3.
There you go.
Like, mind your business, Ryan Clark. I'm sick of him.
But like I told you, what people fail to realize, Ryan's oldest daughter is from a white woman.
That's even more reason to sit down. Like sit down, Ryan.
That's because he knows. He got him a sister now.
Right. But here's my thing on that. Ryan Clark, it's not just RG3 with me and Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark, you becoming Wendy Williams. Like, you got to comment on everybody's everything. First, I didn't like the way he said he don't either. I didn't like the way he did Shannon Sharp after Shannon Sharp's allegations and had to leave from ESPN when he was saying, well, look at the sponsors that he has with the blue chip. Look at how he talks. Look at how I was like, man, bro, fall out of this right now. Like let this marinate. Like, you using his unfortunate situation for you to sit up on your throne and look down on people and, well, this and that. Like, man, shut the hell up, Ryan. Like, but if somebody clap back at him, he won't fight. Like,
he don't know. He takes everything that people give back to him and he responds accordingly. I'm down with Ryan Clark and whatever he says, just like I was down with Wendy Williams. All this stuff that's going on in hip hop and in the public now, that's what everybody's posting now. Pictures of Wendy's purple chair saying if we didn't need Wendy any other time, we definitely need her now. We need somebody like Ryan Clark who's not going to bite his tongue and say what he says. I don't think that he was going for RG3's wife. He didn't say anything negative about his wife, but he told the truth. He says, you're being married to a white woman. How is your white woman going to have discussions with your mixed black girls that you like? Because he categorized his daughters as black. He didn't say multiracial, biracial. He said his black daughters. How is your white wife from Estonia going to explain things to your black daughters?
How does Ryan Clark know?
I totally agree with Ryan Clark.
Well, how does Ryan Clark know the depths of the relationships that RG3 has with his sister or his mother or friends or confidants or there's no black women in his life?
When do you ever see him doing anything or posting anything up about his mother or his sisters or anybody black? It's him putting croissants down his throat. Over in France, it's always promoting a white narrative. He's the milkman. I love milk. Ooh, I like frozen milk. I like this. I like that. He's not for us. Black.
Here's my thing with
if there's anything negative about a black woman, he gonna be the first one to say it or put it out there.
But here's my thing on what we see on social media. Nobody has seen me and you have sex. That don't mean we're virgins. Like, just because you don't see him talking to his mom or see him talking to his sister, I just think for Ryan Clark, that was way out of bounds. And then he had to come out and post pictures of his biracial daughter. Like, quit trying to be the main character, Ryan. I get it. And this still goes back to him hating on Unc when Unc was going through his thing, and he used it as an opportunity to kind of reposition himself within the annals of ESPN. Because let's just face it, Club Shay Shay is popping over the pivot. I love both podcasts. But like, bro, quit being the world's police and tell me what you think about the game. I don't care.
I like everything that Ryan Clark says, and I like everything. Thank you, Trees.
He's sticking with the same white women.
I like everything that he stands for, and Unc was wrong, and you said it yourself. Darn, he got caught up in this, but look at what he's promoting. Sexual enhancement pills.
Ryan Clark, like let him work that out. Like you got to comment on everybody. Like he had to comment on the when Marcellus Wiley called him out.
Is Ryan also holds his own self accountable? Do you not follow him? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He's not saying he's the truth sayer. He says what needs to be said when other people are scared to say it.
Don't be the mouthpiece for everybody when they down. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill. Now, Mike said, don't start with that LeBron stuff with me. I'm not, because you be lighting me up. Now, Jody says, wait a minute. Ryan Clark was protecting an LSU grad. Like, my thing is, I don't have a problem with him protecting Angel Reese. But why are you psychoanalyzing RG3's relationship with his children? You don't have any clue what he talked to his kids
because
about.
RG3 brought it up. It wasn't just like he pulled that out his, hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat type ass shit.
He literally did.
He didn't do
Jazz, good morning, Jazz. Hey, nice watch, gang. He said, Shorty popping her stuff today. Get off on YouTube today.
RG3 is the one that likes to brag about having a white wife. And like I said, you're going to get out here and say the discussions my wife and I have with my black children. How's your wife going to say anything about being black when she's not even a white American woman?
Who's to say that that's
you don't know nothing about what's going on with black women and the strife and all the struggle and shit that we have to go through as being the most unprotected race and species. So don't give me that shit.
But Ryan is being a pick me.
More than anything in this world is when people sit up and talk about how black women don't do this, black women are this, black women ain't shit, black women cause power. When the last few stories you see has been white women out here fucking up black men's bags because they stupid enough to keep falling for it.
What does that have to do with RG3's relationship with his children? Like, Ryan Clark, you don't know that. That was reckless speculation.
No white woman is going to be able to tell, as he said, his black daughters. No white woman is going to be able to tell a black children anything about being black because she doesn't know what it's like to be black.
But you don't know what conversations he's having with black women in his life just because you haven't seen it on social media.
The way he promotes his white wife. When do you ever see him promoting his black mother or his black sisters? Or I know he got a black auntie. Like I said, I want to be John Morant's auntie so bad just so I can get up in his head. He's never saying, oh, I had a conversation with Aunt Sharon, and Aunt Sharon said I needed to pull back. He don't ever say that shit. It's always something geared to him and that damn white wife of his. Now, don't get me wrong. His wife is beautiful, and her name is Greta, and she was an athlete. She ran the 800 at Florida State. She is a very beautiful woman. And again, here I am sounding like Ryan Clark. I don't know that woman. I don't know RG3. She's a very beautiful woman. But don't sit up here and tell me no white woman going to sit around with you and talk about black issues and being a black woman with your black children when she ain't black.
But you're assuming that that's his go-to for that conversation. They got black grandmother.
He said it. As me and my wife sit up and discuss black issues with my black daughters, black women, issues related to black women with my daughters. He said that. I didn't say that. Do I need to go find the tweet when everybody was lighting his ass up? He's the one that said that.
Okay, but Ryan Clark, mind your business. like to me, Ryan Clark used that as a pick-me moment to like rally the troops. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with you, Ryan Clark. Sit out. And then now he becomes bigger than the story itself. I don't think that he was doing Angel Reese any favors. The Martrice says, and she was behind him on the couch clapping while he spewed that mess.
She said just like this here.
I mean, that's his wife. Well, she gotta go sit in the basement. All right. Yeah. Sarah says, if you watch RG3 and Milk podcast, you know that he doesn't put us first at all. Neither does Michael Jordan, but y'all holler go all the time. RG3 blackface. What about Jordan? When's the last time Jordan fooled with quote unquote us? But you jump online every day and talk about that he's the second coming of the silver sandals.
Wait a minute, I gotta let my airman upstairs, so keep talking.
Get your airman upstairs. Okay. Now RG3 is a lost soul. He needs to sit down with Dr. Umar. And Dr. Umar is okay. All right. Langston checking in. Good morning, Steve, Elijah, and Lily doing the damn thing. Safe travels. Way to kind of break the energy on that, Uncle Langston. Good morning to you. Jody, who is going to protect Angel Reese? Because nobody protects our sisters. I'm all for it. Here's the thing with that. If you look at the subsequent, and I agree with the protecting Angel Reese aspect of it. If you look at when RG3 had responded and said that Ryan Clark was out of bounds for bringing his family into it, Ryan Clark proceeded to go into detail about some on the field issues that he had with RG3, both at ESPN and while they were teammates, that shed some light to me that this is less about Angel Reese and more about you having an issue with RG3. So to everyone who's saying protect our sisters, I understand that. But don't use Angel Reese as an opportunity to get clickbait because you want to go at RG3 anyway.
Angel Reese, it has always been the narrative. And I don't understand why, Paul, I don't want to air dirty laundry, but we talk about this all the time. What color was the girl that said not Aaron Brooks, what's his name? That paid for Play for Houston now. What's his name?
Jarrell Green.
No,
Dylan
Brooks.
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. What was the hue of the woman who was down there in Memphis because she had a baby with him and he was doing other things and she was passing the narrative around that he was sleeping with transgender women. But what hue was that? What hue was the woman who killed the black man down there in Miami after he put out a series of tweets talking about how much better white women were and black women wasn't this and black women wasn't that? What was the hue of the woman of the hockey player? I can't think of his name right now. That when she got mad because they broke up, she went to the league and told the league that he was gambling.
Okay, well, wait a minute.
What was the? I'm proving my point right here. For all the people out there that keep saying black women cause issues, now I'm not saying black women don't cause no mess, because y'all know we do as sisters. We will get up all up in through that ass. But don't sit up here and act like black women are more protected. Don't nobody ever want to call out when white women do things. White women ain't never the problem, but we are. The last time I checked in the media, the last few instances of bullshit have come from white women. It ain't had nothing to do with no black women.
See, this is the issue. This is the problem in itself, as far as what my problems with what Ryan Clark did with RG3, because this wasn't about Angel Reese anymore. This was about him attacking RG3 personally because he had a personal issue with him.
RG3 is one of the biggest proponents of pushing white women out there.
Well, and I mean, that's his business.
One of my very best friends and her sister are both married to black men, and I love them dearly. So this is not no, oh, Tasha, you don't like interracial marriage, which people say that to me all the time. No, I don't. I'm all for love. But when you say you're picking a certain person because you think that other person is better than the other option, is when I have a problem, which is what usually happens. They don't pick the black woman because they think the white woman or the other, the Hispanic, the Latino, the racially ambiguous is better than the black woman. That's when I have the issue.
What would you say the percentage is of black NBA players with black wives?
You cannot. I'm talking about black women that look like me. That when you look at them, you can tell they are black women. I'm just saying, what do you think the percentage is? I'm not talking about the ones with the waved up hair. When you look at them, you can't tell if they mixed. You can't tell if they Latina. I'm talking about black. It's very few, and everybody wants to pull out these numbers. Oh, the average, the black man that makes six figures, the majority of them. But how many black men actually make that much money to have black wives? Like y'all, everybody want to skew the numbers in their favor. But when you look at the broad scheme of things, the majority of professional athletes do not have an average black woman that looks like me. They do not.
That's okay. All right. No. Okay. I'm gonna let that sit there. Now, Trevor says 40%. I'd like to get some more numbers on that because I think it's a lot higher as far as black NBA players with black wives.
Like I said, I'm talking about the black women who you look at and you could tell back in the day maybe they had a relaxer. Not the ones with this drip dry, light skin, racially ambiguous looking women.
So, but in the same breath though, if it was reversed let's not get into that part. All right. So Langston says, look, funny how we dance around the obvious. I don't listen to any black women slander. I have 4 daughters. Hell, they use Caitlyn as the savior or symbol of good and Reese as bad. Now, to that, I say this is why I still think that LeBron James is more hated universally than Angel Reese, because Angel Reese does have supporters. And I use this topic as a template to kind of prove my point that it is LeBron James that's more hated than Angel Reese, because there's nobody who steps up and says, let's protect this black man in LeBron James, who is a great father, who has met the qualifications, quote unquote, of what Tasha has described as the prototypical black woman that will give you a pass in the community. LeBron James has that with Savannah. He has his 3 children. He has his businesses. He has stayed out of trouble. He's been a great ambassador for the game. He's a billionaire. He came from nothing. He hadn't gotten any trouble. Nobody protects him. Nobody cares to see that. Nobody jumps to his defense. And even going back to the MJ.
He is a black male who is a billionaire superstar.
Well,
and he knows all the hate that comes. You're going to have fans, because I do believe overall you have more people that secretly are LeBron fans, even though they'll get on public and say they hate him, that are LeBron fans than hate him.
I think it's LeBron James for a land.
You can't compare a black man's hate to hate and vitriol that's given to black women. It's no comparison.
Well, here's the thing with that. This was a sports topic. She said the heavily melanated 4C women is who she's talking about. Well, there's a double standard here. Let's just
It's not, Paul. They don't look for women that look like me.
Okay, so where's your smoke for Eve and for Serena Williams and for all of the rich black women with white men?
How many of y'all black men sit up and talk? I'm not just gonna say black men, not all of them. Yeah, we look at Serena and we say, ooh, look at that ass on Serena. But then when y'all come to her face, y'all don't like her face. Black men, I always say something about that. So if you can go out here,
if we don't find her attractive, we just don't find her attractive.
Exactly. So why wouldn't she go with a man, no matter what color? Because she's held a spectrum. If she gonna get a man, white man, who values her more than just her looks, which is what most of these black men do when it comes to these others, she's not dating him because she thinks he's better.
Projecting, Your Honor, hearsay. You don't know that.
She's not.
You don't know that. That is projecting.
Now, in Eve's case, I do believe Eve was like, "Wait a minute."
Tina Turner.
I get that.
Like,
okay. The last black man that Tina Turner was with, what'd he do?
Okay, I put them hands on her. Okay, so it's okay for the white man to come and be a savior for the black woman, but not a white woman to be a savior for a black man.
Okay, but at the end of the day, black men in certain tax brackets, seek out white women. They don't seek out black women.
Yes, black women in the same tax bracket seek out white men.
The white women tend to go after them because they've been taught and brought up to go chase a bag. But when our girls do it, we greedy, we thirsty. But when they do it, it's And this has been a science experiment, ladies and gentlemen, because just from the reaction of my co-host and for the people in the comments, this ties right back into why I said this had nothing to do with Angel Reese. This had everything to do with Ryan Clark using that moment to start this conversation because he knew that black women. It's not the conversation it had. RG3 put himself in this situation.
You can disagree with his antics without bringing his kids into it.
Because when you sitting up here, I ain't never heard him say nothing negative about no white woman.
Okay. Michael Jordan either. Well, I can scroll up to where they said, well, Michael Jordan didn't have a podcast. Well, raise up off of MJ. This is cherry picking.
What white woman did Michael Jordan date?
He's married to one now. With his stonewashed jeans.
I mean, but you gotta go back. But if you go back, Michael Jordan.
You just said the heavily melanated 4C women is who she's talking about.
If you go back and look at Michael Jordan's first wife, Miss Juanita was high yellow, but you could still look at Juanita and tell Juanita was a black woman. Jordan's wife now is Cuban.
Did he leave her?
I mean, we don't know
we don't know. See, that's what I'm saying.
I'll tell you something off wax.
Okay. That's the double step. Now, Farrah said it's because you can't control white women. They can't control white women. They can control white women. They can't control us, period. I don't know about that. I will take your word for it. But for those who say that, how many white men have y'all dated? I'm just curious. Even Serena gave black men chances before they went to the other side. Are you assuming that RG3 has never dated a sister? Is that what you're assuming? Because you don't know that.
You can tell that
I object. That's conjecture and that's hearsay.
Some people
that's hearsay.
No.
Now look, I think that Ryan Clark, as he always does, and he does a lot recently, he used it for clickbait the same way that RG3 is. So I'm saying they're in the same boat to me. RG3 said what he said for clickbait, and then Ryan Clark chimed in because going the extra mile would get everybody riled up.
RG3 has real black daughters.
You mean Ryan Clark?
I mean, yeah, Ryan Clark has real black daughters. So his wife can sit down and him and her can have conversations with his black daughters.
Okay. I'm just, okay.
RG3 and the lovely Greta, they can't have conversations about black women because she ain't black.
So, okay. So I just want to ask this, and then we can table this part of the discussion. So if the wife isn't, if the wife is white and the kids are mixed, does that exclude any other black woman from being able to impart wisdom into those girls?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But he didn't say that. He said him and his wife, not him and Big Mama, not him and his mama, not him and his aunt Angela Coulter. They didn't say that.
Should kids and wives be off limits when it comes to a sports story that had nothing to do with it?
But he did not say anything about his wife. What he said was, you're saying that your white wife is having discussions with your black children. He did not say, I don't know why he's sitting around letting that white lady talk to them black kids or
wait a minute, but the kids are biracial, aren't they?
Or little Cindy Sue and such. Again, Paul, you cannot have no white woman talk to no black kids about what it's like to be a black woman.
But wait a minute, aren't those kids biracial?
Yes.
No, they're white too.
He's called them black, not us. He said, my black daughters. That came out of his mouth. He said black daughters. And I said that earlier, but you wasn't listening. He didn't say multiracial, biracial, bicultural, multicultural. He said my black daughters.
No, okay. So with you saying that, all right. You said my black daughters. So a black man is not able to talk to his black daughters about race?
But a white woman can't. What does she know about being black?
She knows about black men. I'm just saying, I think Ryan Clark dog whistled y'all and got everybody fired up and hijacked the narrative.
I like everything Ryan says. Ryan don't bite his tongue. Ryan says what everybody else is scared to say, and I like it.
Be nice, Farrah. No, we're not gonna do that.
Farrah.
She says, Stiana says, but the world sees them as black, Paul. Like, this is what I'm saying. And good morning, Justin, checking in. And Justin is like this, like I'm like this. You cannot like what RG3 said about Angel Reese hating her, because I disagree with that, because I'm holding both to the same standard. Let me restate my position for those who may be just joining in. I thought it was irresponsible for RG3 to use the word hate and to separate it from basketball, because he reiterated the word hate at the end of his tweet and said, this is not about basketball.
Hate, double hate.
Right. He said this is hate. Right. He said this is hate with all caps, which I thought was out of bounds, because that has nothing to do with basketball. But I'm holding Ryan Clark to the same standard, because you're not in Angel Reese's head. You don't know about her feelings about. But at the end of the day,
he did what a lot of black men aren't doing. He stood up when he felt like RG3 had been talking bad about a black woman,
I'm just saying Ryan Clark,
which happens a lot.
I'm just saying,
this is not the first time RG3 has said something about Angel Reese and protected her. This is just the first thing that blew up because of what RG3 said.
Right.
You gotta go back and listen to Ryan Clark. He been defending Angel Reese.
But here's the thing: if the roles were reversed and RG3 said something about Ryan Clark's kids, he would have been tight. He would have been tight. Again, that's just it. That's just it. Like
Ryan would have said, like he said in the past. You can sit up. You can talk about me. You can talk about my kids. You can talk about my wife. I don't care. He said it because people have been coming after Ryan Clark since he's been saying what needed to be said. He says it all the time. I follow him on Twitter. I watch The Pivot. I follow him on Instagram. He has said that several times because people have said things about his children and his wife.
Justice says, I ain't never talking trash to them Niners. Yeah, she crazy, scary as hell. Man, she ain't scaring nobody.
I love you, Justice.
No, she ain't scaring nobody. She ain't moving nothing over here. We just having a conversation. Ryan Clark already apologized for bringing up RG3 Snow. See, Jarrell, let's not. This is Saturday morning. I'm just saying, like, let's not. But the thing is, he needed to apologize because that was out of bounds.
So RG3 didn't need to apologize. Okay, I got you. Snow Bunny on line one.
Look, RG3 needed to apologize to Angel Reese, not Ryan Clark.
And Ryan
That's
Clark
what he needed to apologize to.
And what Ryan pretty much was saying was, he said I didn't mention his wife, but if he thought I was, I apologize for that because he didn't. He said you cannot have your white wife talk to your black daughters about what it's like to be a black woman. That is what he said.
But the thing is, now you're hijacking a foul and turning it into something that you can use content for.
Is the first person that said, my wife and I sit up and talk to my black daughters about what it's like to be a black woman in the world.
And okay, that's their household. I'm just saying, Ryan Clark. Look, y'all can. I get the premise of why he was defending Angel Reese.
I keep taking it back to the point of ain't no white woman, I don't give a fuck who she is, gonna be talking up to my black daughter about what it's like to be a black woman in this world. That's not gonna happen. Period.
Understood. All right. So you want to make a final point on that? I'll let you put the bow on this box.
I'm done.
Okay.
And y'all don't think me and Paul mad at each other. This is our usual.
No, the thing is, I told Tasha I was going to boot the NFL stuff because when I saw the LeBron James hate, to bring this back to my original question of who's hated more, LeBron James or Angel Reese, this was me proving my point that it's LeBron James because there's no segment of anybody who protects him, and if they do, we're called
protection. If I was LeBron, Ramon James, do y'all really think I give a damn about what anybody said about me? No.
Okay, so Angel Reese
is a 40-year-old man. Angel Reese is a 24 young woman who's had so much hate and racism spewed upon her already. She ain't in Baltimore no more. She ain't up in Maryland where she had the protection of a majority of us. She went down there to one of the most racist states in the Union of Louisiana, and had to deal. We don't know actually what that girl had to deal with. But when that girl had that press conference, that told me all I needed to know about what she was dealing with. And then the funny part about it, you get Caitlin Clark up here, and then you get all of these, a certain sect of people who are so pro Caitlin Clark, but she hangs out with Taylor Swift, and y'all know which way Taylor Swift swings. Come on, man. Come on, make it make sense.
Do y'all call her Brick Barbie or not?
That's Farrah's word.
Have you ever snickered or laughed or giggled at Brick Barbie?
No, when the first time Farrah said that, what did I say? I said, Farrah, don't do that.
Brick Barbie. I've seen several people in this chat laugh at Brick Barbie. So basically, do as we say and not as we do.
I never laughed at that when Farrah said it. When she said it on her show, y'all, this the hour take. Farrah, y'all coming on today? Because I know Farrah's on.
I don't think they're coming on today, but I'm just making a point.
When she said that, I said, Farrah, don't do that.
I think Ryan Clark is a self-server. Now, that's not to say that Angel Reese didn't deserve to be protected there because RG3 was wrong with what he said and using the word hate, but Ryan Clark used that for engagement the same way as RG3, and that's why he kept dragging it so he can have a pivot conversation about it. I'm just saying, I just get it from both sides, and Ryan Clark ain't said no different than what Stephen A. would say. I agree with Tasha. What do you mean what Stephen A. would say? I don't understand that part because Stephen A. is not the biggest champion. He'll call out black people just as fast as anybody.
Stephen A. just be calling out just to be calling out.
Right. Brick Barbie is for her play on the court. Boom. And this is how we're gonna end this conversation. We went from a play on the court to a whole 30 minutes of me catching bullets for saying that Ryan Clark took this to another level for a self-serving reason.
Sarah just said Brick Barbie is for her play on the court. People are not separating Brick Barbie from Angel Reese.
No, that's true.
The fact that she is a black woman.
That's true. But just because you agree with what Ryan said and don't agree with what RG3 said, it doesn't mean that they weren't both.
But the only thing I said, because to be honest, I follow RG3 on Twitter too. Sometimes he be saying some stuff that's some count. He really does have a good perspective. Right. The only thing I didn't agree with him on is the fact that you saying you let your white wife talk to your black daughters about being a black woman in the United States.
I get that. No, and the thing
that's the only thing I didn't agree with him with. He has the right to say everything else. And again, hate is a strong word. You don't know if she hates it. I mean, there is something there. There is something there. But for you to get up and say hate, neither one of them know that girl to know whether or not either one of them actually hate each other.
Right. And I'm going to bring it all the way back down to that point. And she said none of the bullets hit you as I'm wearing a Biggie shirt on the week of his birthday when he got hit by the bullet that hit him in the colon and the liver and went out through his shoulder and killed him.
I think Diddy did it.
I do too. I don't know if he did it, but I think that he had him out in LA when he shouldn't have been out in LA. That's neither here nor there. All right. So the whole purpose of that exercise was, and I'm glad I did it, was to show that, and two things can be true, ladies and gentlemen. And all I wanted to say was two things can be true. RG3 was way out of bounds using the word hate in the context that he used it because he did it for engagement, because he knew there was a large contingent of fans, namely Caitlin Clark fans, that would ride for that, and they were. Ryan Clark did the same thing. It's just he just has a different set of people that's agreeing with him. They both did it for clickbait and engagement. I don't think either one of them give a damn about Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark. I think they did it for engagement.
That's an LSU bond, and them LSU folks stick together.
As Cam said, opinion. Right, Martrice, there it is. Opinions and entertainment.
Did y'all be watching Cam on 4th and 1? So I don't watch his whole show.
I don't either. I just watch the clips.
I be catching some clips sometimes. He's a fool.
He is a fool. Looking like the cat in the hat. Sorry, I had to get some water because y'all done took me out. But yeah, I ain't scared of none of you MFers. You want to come for the kid? It's just me and my little friend. All right. Natasha, SGA was announced league MVP, making the 7th straight year that a non-American born athlete has won the award. Tasha, is this a coincidence or is this an indictment on American basketball?
I mean, I already, they said next year they're supposed to do the All-Star game, supposed to be the world versus the U.S. The U.S. gonna get cooked.
Where it looks right now. I don't know, because I mean, if speaking of good and bad hair, if KD would
know what? Ain't gonna be no KD slander.
See if I care. Good and bad hair.
Ain't gonna be no KD slander because I will come through this.
To find something to do.
They were so wrong when they had them fans. They had them fans. We told them now with that kitchen of yours.
No, look, if that movie came out today, Spike Lee would be banned from Hollywood.
He would never be able to make a movie.
I digress. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, in all seriousness, everybody who chimed in on that conversation, great conversation, great talking points. I appreciate your passion on that. Tasha, who has the best chance to break the non-American MVP streak? Who would you put money on?
Well, I'm gonna say you can't say Tatum because he out for the year.
I'm saying going forward. Let's say starting next year, going forward for next year's MVP and going forward.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right. I'm sorry. You're right. Because Tatum is going to be out for the majority of the year with that with the Achilles. You're right.
I think, come on. A non-injured, non-off the court controversy, Ja Morant could have been the easy choice. And I think kind of pretty much the same thing is happening with Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're not bringing up a lot of his off the court issues, his play is stellar. Farrah? Now, I done forgave you. And I said, okay, slander is a lot. Why are you laughing so hard?
When I say it, it's all this smoke, but you want to use these kid gloves with Farrah because that's your new BFF, although that's my BFF. You can't have Farrah. Farrah's mine. The doggone girl is mine. She's mine.
I will
She's
fight
mine.
you over Farrah.
She's mine. Huh?
I will fight you over Farrah and Brady.
Well, we're getting the hell in the cell over Farrah. Farrah, I'm your best friend, not her. Don't you ever forget that.
And Teresa, I saw that comment too. Ain't no KD Fossey hair slander.
I'm just saying, bruh. Like it's like
boy, y'all love that.
I'm like I had to start watching yesterday. I started watching Starting Five on Netflix. It's been a phenomenal show. I'm like
watching that.
I am just now watching that. It's been phenomenal. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all know that me and Martrice Elaine Hastings, my sunshine, my brown sugar, when the first time you fell in love with hip hop, my world over there, Mary J. Blige. We some Ja fans through and through. But I gotta admit, Tasha, Ant-Man is selling me on the face of the league joint. He has been electrifying. He's been engaging. He's been somebody I want to root for. I didn't know his story going into Georgia with his mom and his grandma and his sister and his family. I ain't gonna lie. I like Anthony Edwards a lot more now after watching that documentary.
I mean, I saw the documentary and I still feel the same on it because I had that conversation with somebody and they was like, oh, well, he was raised by his grandmother because his mother. I said, but the fact that he was raised by his grandmother and his sister should let him know how he should treat women. Because if somebody was out there bobbing and weaving in his sister like that and talking bad about him like that, he wouldn't feel the same. He wouldn't have that forked of a tongue when it comes to talking about how a man would treat his sister. I don't feel no different. But again, I think they're bringing Ja's off the court issues, which, to be honest, they are against the league rules. What Anthony Edwards is doing ain't against no league rules.
Well, I'm going to push back on that. It wasn't against the league rules. There was no league rule about the gun celebration. They made that up. And there was no league. I mean, the conduct detrimental to the league for the IG post and doing it a second time, that warranted.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah, okay. That was legit.
Like who Anthony Edwards is sleeping with on and off the court is not in anybody's NBA bylaws or CBA agreements or anything. I would love for it to be Anthony Edwards. I like to watch Anthony Edwards play. I think it's kind of passed a little time on Trae Young. I don't know if the market is
Trae old. I ain't never seen a young person look so old.
It's Trae the ball. You know them light skin jeans ain't nothing.
Your colorism is on full display today. All right, Sharon Stone.
Okay, y'all, let me tell y'all this. I was trying to wipe off my camera. I got on a dress and I held the camera down.
Don't you do it.
And I pulled up my dress.
I saw Cooch. Is my mama logged off? I saw some Cooch.
Saw some pussy.
All right, Grace Jones, don't make it turn down.
Some pussy.
I saw some Cooch.
Still vagina.
I saw some under boob. Justin, I seen it. I'm gonna send you the pre-roll, Justin. Okay. She hit me with the Sharon Stone.
Okay.
Tasha, let's just get out of this. Who are you shouting out today? Oh my God, what a show.
I had so many shout outs. I done forgot everything. The shots. It is Mother's Day weekend. down here in the Dominican Republic. So Feliz Dia de Madres a todos. I had another shout out. I forgot to. This show has just been derailed today.
Farrah, I'm gonna send you a screenshot. I saved it. It was a Coach burger with extra cheese.
Okay.
This will forever be known as the Caitlin Clark and Cooch Show.
It was where I stink.
All right, y'all only on the extra point, ladies and gentlemen.
Bro, it was where I stink.
Oh my God. Look, my mama's like, nah, y'all she's so old. My mama's sick of us. Like, she's like, go blue, get up out of here.
If y'all knew where I stink, oh my God.
No. Look. No, because I don't want people to walk away from this thinking anything crazy. It was a meme.
They already think crazy. What the hell? This show is already off the hinges.
No, I want to do because my mama is on right now. Mama, look, the whole where I stink. I saw a meme on Instagram where a guy took a picture of a VHS tape and was saying that kids today wouldn't know what this was, but the title of it had something of where I stink on there. So we're not talking about us or anything like that. We were just talking about the VHS tape and we were laughing about the title. That is all. So not with my mom's. Farrah, see Tasha, remember what I told you last week? I got you, Farrah. She said the one that winked, not the one that stink. We out of here. No.
I almost lost my lung when you did that. Stop.
No, Tasha, you didn't see what Trish just said. The one that winked, not the one that stink. On that note, we out of here. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Cherish, who's celebrating a birthday today. I want to give a shout out to all of the graduates today. And Denise, I thought you had logged out. I hope your foot is doing better. We do need help. Your mama started all of this.
She got her cast off yesterday and started physical therapy.
Denise, you sat there and let your mama cuss me out for 30 straight minutes without taking a breath, and you didn't jump in to interject to get my back or nothing. I was just asking questions. I was just poking and prodding. I didn't know. Let's get out of here. I want to give a shout out to my nephew Carter for getting through another school year. I want to give a shout out to all of the graduates that are graduating this weekend. I want to give a shout out to Mike and Stacy Hasso, whose oldest son is graduating today. I will be seeing them later on today as we celebrate. Just a shout out to AP Culture, Stephanie Coulter, the whole support system. A shout out to all of you parents out there, because it is a family deal when the kids. Who was wrong? I was wrong. Denise, I was wrong.
That's my niece, y'all. That's Chains.
Wait a minute.
Going to high school.
All right. Well, shout out to the graduate. Denise said I was wrong. All I did was ask the question. I think Ryan Clark was.
Now, Ryan Clark, ain't gonna be no
Ryan Clark used us
because she is a Steelers fan.
Ryan Clark used us, specifically Black women, for engagement because he had to go post a picture of his own biracial daughter after he got called out.
Ryan Clark,
after he got called out, then he had to dust that picture off and post it. He's the same as RG3.
No, he ain't. That's a
lie. Shout out to nephew Taj on his graduation and all the graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Tasha,
Farrah, go to Trio Burger and give me the real on how you think the Trio Burger really is.
She said, "Yes, you want Capri." She was like, "I said what I said." I love y'all. Y'all gonna let me back on next week? We got a lot of football topics that we're gonna push to next week. Congratulations to our newest seniors, King, Miles, and Elijah. Clap, clap, don't. And I like the word kings right there, because that's what they are. And y'all are some queens for raising them. So congratulations to all of the parents that got their kids through another year, that they're finishing the year as healthy and as mentally stable as they started. That is a reflection on their upbringing, and congratulations to all the parents, all of the aunts, uncles, the supporting cast to get these kids their education. Tasha, get us out of here, please. Please. Hurry up. We get this live over with.
Vamos, folks.
Peace. Lord Jesus, get me out of here. Oh, Lord.